Anyway, right, I'm going to get started, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to you. We have had 38 people book onto this as well. So I thought I'd be brave and not do it as a webinar, do it as a open Zoom meeting. So obviously, very conscious of the fact, please keep yourselves on mute and don't disrupt me. I will be doing a Q&A at the end. You're very welcome to ask any questions as I go through. So, but it is 4 o'clock. I do want to be 15 minutes. So this is what we're here for today. Thank you very much. You know me, hopefully anyone watching the recording, most of you know who I am anyway. This is why I'm at the front of the room today. I know I don't look old enough, but I have got a career of 30 plus years in sales and marketing. Experience across IT, retail, hospitality, and different management. So yeah, over 30 plus years. And I took one particular IT business from 6.2 million all the way to 48.5 million over the period of 12 years. I managed a team of 125 people during that process, which is where my productivity skills became very, very honed, as you can imagine. These people still coming in now. So I launched Maneuver Growth back in 2016, so 5 years ago, right at this point. And I've worked with hundreds of businesses globally. Currently working with clients. Well, I've worked with clients across 5 continents, which has been an amazing journey. And also, I am, any of those who know me, I do love my productivity. I am a geek about it. I'm not going to excuse myself. Thank you to the guys who just joined us now. So what I want you to think about are, I will be coming to you at the end. I want to know what your biggest takeaways are from today. What I say to you, if you've got a notebook in front of you, take some notes. I am recording it and I will share the session with you later on today. But if you can just get a clean page in your notebook and write number 1 at the top left-hand corner, halfway down, write number 2, and then right at the bottom, write number 3. As you get those aha moments and stuff that comes to you, think, oh my God, that's stuff I'm not doing myself, make a note of it, and I'll come to the end, because it's always useful to share what your biggest takeaways are and your aha moments, because they may be different to other people as well. So I've got 3 aims for you today. 3 goals I want to achieve are, I want you to think about your productivity differently. I want you to spend some time and to focus, put some time into your calendar each week so that you're focusing on your time management. It sounds bizarre, but you have to plan this out, and your time management won't just work by chance or won't change by chance. But I also want to empower you to take massive action here, and very positive action as always. There's no point in just learning this stuff and doing nothing with it, which is what the next slide comes to. Knowledge isn't power, as we all are led to believe. It's the application of knowledge that is the power. So there's no point spending 50 minutes of your busy Wednesday afternoon just doing this for the sake of it. You want to actually take something away from it and make some changes, and that will help you boost your productivity. So I'm going to go straight in for it. And as I say, it is recorded. I have got 12 minutes. Productivity stats. The average employee is only productive for 2 hours and 53 minutes per day. Quite a scary stat, and that stat came out from a survey about 4 months ago. So if you think about it, most people work on average 9 to 5. What's that? 8, 9 hours a day. If you're only productive for 2 hours and 53 minutes, what's the point of working the rest of that time? Multitasking can hurt your productivity by 40%. We're all led to believe that productivity is the way forward. It's complete bullshit, and it can really hurt you and make you less productive. 54% of workers right now claim or admit to being less productive than they were at the beginning of 2020. So we're almost, where are we now? November 2021. 54% of people are now confessing to the fact that they're less productive. And I think a lot of us can resonate with this picture. This guy's working from home. He's working not from a dedicated space. He's working from a dining table by the look of it. He's got his laptop out, he's got his phone in hand, and I'm sure there's people walking back and forth, and you can understand the reasons why we are less productive. So just to start us off, what does productivity mean? You can see there, these are the Oxford Language Dictionary. The productivity is the state or quality of being productive. And then time management definition is the ability to use one's time effectively or productively, especially at work. Time management is the key to efficient working. Couldn't agree with that anymore. So the one thing I'll say to you out of this is only a very brief session to whet your appetite and start you thinking about your own productivity, is there's lots and lots of gurus and coaches out there all around the world who will tell you what's best for you. but it's about taking a balanced view, because not everything I share today is going to work for you. Some things will, some things won't. Making sure that you find what works for you. Try stuff, see what works, see what you're happy with, see what you don't like, but just try stuff. Try stuff, and make it personal to you. So, email, I'm sure is no surprise to anyone, is the most distracting thing out there, and it's the biggest productivity killer out there. So my first tip is always, and you can see it in capital letters, say, I am absolutely shouting this, is don't sit in your inbox. So many people come in the morning, the first thing they do is open Outlook or iCalendar or whatever client you're using, and they sit in their inbox all day long, and you never get anything else done. The other thing I'll say to you is don't check your email first thing in the morning, because that's exactly what everyone else is doing when they come into work. So you better to leave it for a period of time, and I'll explain why and show you in a minute. Try Inbox Zero. So Inbox Zero, if you've ever heard the term, is a state of having nothing in your inbox, zero emails in your inbox, quite obviously. There's one person on here who regularly professes to me to have in excess of 10,000 emails. I'm not going to name you, but there is one of you out there, and I've had a client who had 80-something thousand emails in their inbox at one point, and it was a her. And that's got down to about 6,000 last conversation. You need to be working from a simple, very clear inbox. If you're trying to use your inbox as your to-do list, you're never going to get anywhere. All you're going to do is keep clearing emails, and you're constantly looking at all that barrage of emails, and it just won't be very calming for you. Work from email folders rather than working from your inbox. As you're going through your inbox and clearing your emails, if it's going to take you more than 20 or 30 seconds, if it's something you can respond to really, really quickly, it'll take you 20 or 30 seconds, then do it there and then. If it's going to take you longer than that, then put it into email folders, and I'll show you what those should look like in a second. Also, I always have, and anyone who's had the delight of emailing me in the last probably 15 years will know I always have an out-of-office message on, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute, and I highly recommend using this. Have a message on there to say when you're checking your emails and what you're doing about it, so there's no surprises. And then set times that you're going to check your emails, check your inbox, your emails each day. I always recommend to start off with maybe checking it twice a day, and checking them at 11 o'clock, and then checking them at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The reason being, if everyone comes in the morning and they check their emails first thing, they'll then send you an email. If you're checking your email at the same time, you'll get their email. You then respond to them. The email goes back and forth, and suddenly you've wasted 10, 15 minutes on one email, and it's not really changed the world. So if you let everyone get their emails checked first thing in the morning, then you're checking yours at 11 o'clock. By then, the hope is that they've moved on from their emails. They're in meetings doing the stuff they're paid for. You can respond to them quite quickly and get it done, and that will make your life much easier. Managing expectations is the final point on this slide, as you can see, and that's all about letting people know what you are doing with your emails. There's no surprises. I hate surprises. If you're in employment, unfortunately, you need to make sure that your bosses or whoever's paying you expectations are being managed. And if you're working for yourself, you run your own business, and you need to let your workmates know what you're doing, but also your clients or suppliers. Make sure everyone knows what you're doing. If you're checking your emails at 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock, let them know that's what's happening. So next thing I'm going to talk about is batching. So batching, the definition is to arrange things in sets or groups. I had nothing to do but batch the reports. So by checking your emails twice a day, 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock, you are batching your emails in one go. And you'll probably find the average person gets anything from 50 to 150 emails a day. By batching your emails or attacking them at one or two goes during the day, you'll probably get them all done in 20 minutes, as opposed to taking you a whole day. So the example I like to use is when you're washing your clothes. If you're washing your shirt, you put it in. You wouldn't wash one shirt at a time. You'd put it in as a group. You put all your darks in together, whatever, all those shirts in together, and you batch wash them all together, and that way they're all done at the same time. Exactly the same with your emails. That's what Inbox Zero should look like. And yes, I am showing off. That's my inbox. And as you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different email accounts, and they're all completely zero. And all I'm doing is I'm using some different folders. The folders I always recommend people to use are, so if the email is going to take you longer than 20 or 30 seconds to deal with it in your inbox, is drop it in the action, then check your action folder once or twice a day and go through them in one go. That will save you some time. You're also not going to get distracted by any new emails coming in. Have a folder to read. So you don't need to action it, but you need to read it and digest it. Put it in a folder, and again, maybe read it once a day or every couple of days. if you're lucky enough to have staff or people you're working with, a team, and you're delegating stuff to them, if you drop the email in that delegate folder after, it's easy to follow up and make sure those jobs have been done all in one go, so you're batching it. And then useful. So you may not need the email right now, but you know it's going to be useful to you sometime in the future. Stick it in the useful folder, and that will save you some time. Again, you keep it in your inbox clear. Someday is something they recommend. All these come from a methodology out there that someday, if it's not anything there that you may need someday, they tell you to put it in the someday folder. If I'm honest with you, I tried it and never looked at it again, so I just don't use that folder anymore. But again, as I said to you already, it's finding a system that works for you. Here is an example of the outer office message that I use. If you haven't emailed me as yet, you'll see something like that. Or if you have emailed me even more, you'll see something like that. So due to other commitments, I'm only checking my email no more than twice a week. If it's truly urgent and cannot wait a few days, please call me. Otherwise, thank you for waiting, and we will get back to the inbox. Many thanks, Rich. So it's very straight to the point. I am checking my emails probably twice a week right now. If I'm honest with you, Wednesday at 4 o'clock, and I probably haven't checked my emails very quickly this week at all. So, and then if you do call me, it will tell you that, tell me WhatsApp message, you get me really, really quickly. So mobile phones, so that's emails. Pack up email. Email is by far the worst productivity zapper out there, all drain. Mobile phones are quite a close second. So these are the reasons why. The average person touches, swipes, or clicks their phone 2,617 times a day, whilst the top 10% of these people do it nearly 5,500 times a day. That's how bad it is. Yes, my phone is here today because I'm using it for the connectivity, but I won't be clicking on it all the time. The average user spends about 171 minutes every day on their smartphone. So if you think back to the other stat I talked about, the productivity one at the beginning, you can understand why people are just not productive. So people are on their phone for 171 minutes. That'll be doing, going through apps, Facebook, you name it, they're all out there. If you look at that over the course of a year, that's 62,415 minutes. It's something in the region of about 41 days. I think I've worked it out previously, so it's quite scary how much we use these smartphones and how much we rely on them. 70% of all workers keep their phones within eye contact. The problem being, as they get a notification, it's going to take them, a large period of time to get back into the focused work they are doing. So always try and have it out of the way. And the problem being why it's so dangerous is it will take you on average 23 minutes to refocus after you've been distracted at work. That's on average. So some people may take a lot longer, some people will be quicker. But if you think on average 23 minutes to focus on what you're doing in the first place, this is the way you don't want to be distracted. So I am an iPhone user, I'm afraid to say. So there are similar things available on Windows and also Android. If you are an iPhone user, the recent update is something really cool out there called Focus, which you want to have a look at, which will basically change your world. You can have different sets of focus for working, personal time, nighttime, and all that. But you can see here the setup that I use. So notifications, I tend to have my phone on Do Not Disturb most of the time. Automatically schedules on from 9 o'clock at night to 7:15 in the morning. And it's always silent. It will let calls for my favorites, so anyone who's there will come through to me, but the rest of the time it makes no noise at all. And the other thing I'll say is you want to be looking at WhatsApp as well, because WhatsApp can be a massive distraction. To make sure you've got that silenced, or you can set it so only check it a couple of times a day, or just set yourself a reminder to go back and look at it. So the last thing I'm going to cover today in 2 minutes is calendar and your schedule tool. You want to put everything in your calendar, have one calendar rather than having multiple different calendars, have everything in there, personal, work, the whole lot, and that way you can't be double booked. Look at the time you schedule your meetings for. Why do we all think we have to have a meeting that's got to be 60 minutes in length? You could have a 45-minute meeting and a 15-minute break. Get up away from your keyboard, get away from the screen, go and walk around, make a drink and stuff. Makes you more productive. Block out time for deep work. Deep work's the kind of stuff that you have to do in your job that when you're not getting distracted. If you don't block out the time in your calendar and get it done, you're never going to get that work done. So you'll be falling behind quite quickly. So block out some time where I've got to do client work or that kind of stuff in there, and it's in my calendar. Always review tomorrow's schedule last thing before you turn off at night. So tonight before I turn off, I'll be looking at my schedule for tomorrow, make sure everyone's confirmed their meetings, make sure there's no surprises, any work I need to get done. It's all done, there's no surprises for in the morning. But then also, I will set my to-do list tonight before I switch off as well, because while it's still fresh in my mind, I will set myself that to-do list. And that way, it's not me stressing about it tonight, thinking about all these things I've got to remember for the next day. I've already mentioned that. Have one calendar for everything, your business and personal. And then schedule regular breaks. To me, you want to be working. What works really well for me is that I tend to do 45 minutes work, have a 10-minute break, and then get back into it. And then think about, are you available to take unsolicited calls? If you haven't got them scheduled in your diary, that taking that call, one, it's distracted you already, and two, it's going to take you 23 minutes or so to get back into what you're doing. So have certain times during the day when you can take calls, and then other times have your phone on silent, don't get distracted. Very, very quickly, in the last minute, meeting best practice, set meeting times as concise as possible. Research shows that our attention span only lasts for 10 to 18 minutes, so why have meetings any longer than that? Set a time or day for meetings, or even better, if you have to, set a day where you're going to have no meetings at all. Things like Zoom meetings, we always seem to forget, we book in so many meetings. So maybe have, a Friday where you don't do any meetings at all, and it's just work that you do with people around you, or just doing some client work. Always prepare the meeting agenda in advance. If you are booking the meeting, then you are responsible for the meeting agenda, in my view. Limit the people going to be in the meeting. If they don't need to be there, they've got nothing to add, and don't invite them, because it'll just slow things down. Stick to your meeting agenda, and always end the meeting with actions. If you're going to have the meeting, you're going to have those people together. People never seem to think about how much that meeting's costs in the business, but I've been in meetings before, and there's 10, 15 people in there. If you think they're in there for an hour, it's just ridiculous, eye-watering how much that costs. And then think about your meeting location. Does it always have to be around a table? Does it have to be a Zoom meeting? Can you meet face-to-face over a coffee, go for a walk on the canal? You can take people out of their environment and have better quality meetings and get more achieved. And then the very, very last thing is weekly review, is allocate time at the end of your week to review the past week, what tasks and actions are still outstanding, and then look ahead for the next couple of weeks. Again, the theme is here, we don't want any surprises. What do you need to prepare? What do you need to confirm? Confirm your meeting, and as I mentioned, about 10 times, no surprises. There we are, 16 minutes. So if you're still with me now, what are your biggest takeaways from today? By all means, unmute yourself and get involved. I would like to say, is there anything you've taken in from today that you've not thought about before, or something you've known before and you're not using?
I think for me, Rich, it's the inbox stuff, because I do my zero inbox, and I'm pretty good at it, but I probably need a few more folders, because I tend to have a to-do folder and a storage folder, and that's it. And so it either goes, and as a result, the to-do one does get a bit packed. So maybe I need to prioritize things a bit different and have a high priority, lower priority type folders.
Absolutely. It can be quite stressful as well. If you look at something, you've got a massive to-do list, it can be really, really stressful. So again, I know on Mac, I now use a product called Spark, which is a free email client, but I don't use the folders anymore. So I can archive, I can snooze, you can do whatever you want with the emails. And I just find it's an even better way of doing it. I tend to smash my emails in once or twice a week and go through them very, very quickly and respond to them. And then I just walk away and leave it there. But that's cool, take that. Anyone else want to contribute?
Yeah, well, I mean, with the batching of the emails, I am actually guilty of sitting in my inbox. I'm guilty of doing that.
Good afternoon. I didn't see you sneak on there. Good to see you. Yeah, so you'll end up spending a whole day and getting nothing else achieved but your inbox, but your emails, yeah?
But yeah, and exactly what you said, which is, you won't start answering one person while you're looking at your emails, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning all of a sudden, and you're like, oh my God. So you're totally right. So take that on board. Totally, actually.
Cool. Email now, email was invented a long, long time ago. I can't even tell you when it was invented. It was like the late 60s, if I remember rightly. But we use an email now in such a different format that was ever invented. And actually, I get really wound up by email because people use it so badly. And the minute people send an email, they expect a response.
Yeah.
And why? Why do people expect a response straight away in email? It's not instant communication. That's why I just don't use email. I use email as little as I possibly can, because it's the most unproductive way for other people using it. People's interpretations got so bad now that I just don't like email, and I find it the biggest distraction. I'll go through times where I turn off emails off my phone. I don't even have access to emails on my phone. as you know, I've been away for a couple of days. I've had email on my phone. I've been checking them a couple of times for maybe 15 minutes a day, whizzing through my emails and responding to people or filing them away. But yeah, emails, it's just a major killer.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
what
all on
I
a
do
mission to educate people.
I do like the zero inbox, and I try and have zero in there if I can. But what I do, which is a bit different to you, is I actually diarise emails so that they don't. So I copy the email, put it into a diary entry, and then it is on my radar. But then it's out my inbox. Do you know what I mean? So that's how I use it. But
if it's working for you, then fair play. I'm all for trying different things.
Another perspective. I mean, obviously with me, I can't check my emails twice a day because my orders come through my emails, don't they? You see, but you are right. I don't have to be on it, sitting looking at it all day. I don't have to do that.
Absolutely. I think if you can find, even to start off with, you may find that you want to check your emails once an hour. So on the hour, each hour, check your emails for 5 minutes and then come out of it and do it. But then you physically make an effort of closing the email down and walking away from it. And also not having things like notifications. This forms part of the 15-minute productivity boost. It feels a much bigger training session, a workshop, which is exceptional business productivity, which I think majority of you've seen or will be getting access to quite soon, which is about 90 minutes in length, and there's much more detail in that, but it's about having no notifications. And, if you're not in control of your calendar, then someone else is. You're never going to win. You're never going to get anywhere as well. So I am fully respectful that a lot of people are very reliant on email, but it's about making it work for you and trying to be in control of it. Otherwise, someone else is in control of your day, and that's really stressful. Cool. Anyone for anything else?
No, thank you very much.
No, you're very welcome. So one last thing, I haven't even launched this yet, but I thought I'd drop this in here. Later on tonight, I'm going to be launching this, which is my first time doing a challenge. So it's completely free of charge. It's all about generating 50 quality leads, not just any old leads, over a period of 14 days, ideal for your business. And it's aimed at anyone who's online and offline. So watch this space. It launches the week after next. So there's plenty of spaces on there, but you are very welcome to come and join me and generate lots of leads for your business at a quality that you're looking for. So watch this space. Connect me on Facebook if you're not connected already, and all is good. Any final questions?